Well, hello people of YouTube and internet, it is I, ChipGP, and sorry for not uploading for a week, or maybe two, because again I kinda get delayed, and, well, how much delayed? I finished the drawings, and I was working on another project, then a lazy day, then take a bath. I take today a bath. Like, I want to record very early, but I took a bath, and I'm trying not to wear headset while my hair is wet. Because I don't know, maybe it will ruin them. Probably will ruin it, it's electricity. Let's have this stuffing, but no, let's not bloody risk it. So, by the video title you can guess that I'm gonna do a drawing of the ink tank. Yes, it's one of my favorite YouTubers because I've been watching for a while, I would say. Okay, I will not say it's like a YouTuber I've been watching for a long time. I would say I will watch them, they start blooming. And I also did this drawing of Horas a long time ago. While I was doing my stage of drawing, finding the image and trying to draw as close as possible to the original. Let's say it was a nice lesson of learning some interesting tricks. Or the Femen Intact did teach me some lots of stuff. Like, for example, they teach me how to draw those crazy eyes pupil. But you make the blood part small and make effect of craziness. I just start using my new art style with my new changing designs. So yeah, I've been watching them, enjoying them, and I suddenly have the idea of making them play DnD session. Well, first of all, they do play games, but again, O.R.Ash play bunch of different games. Well, how much bunch? I know about Hollow Knight. That's it. Hollow Knight. And Kuro play Ben 10 games. For games, I don't see other stuff. So, I also love DnD. Again, how much love? I mean, I watch Vox Machina. But again, I would say it's pretty hard for me to watch. Because again, but during the moments on map, strategy, and throwing the dice is moments which are pretty boring. But jokes and how they do those role-playing is what I like. And also what I like in Dungeon and Dragons play set. I just like compilation moments from the funny moments when cutting those long. Let's say if it was anime, I would bloody skip anime battle which took too long and go to the plot with character development. I actually don't do this, but let's imagine something like this. In this metaphor. So yeah, also been thinking about Ink Tank playing Dungeons and Dragons, but I doubt I will do this because first of all, I'm not sure they're fan of the series. I'm not sure exactly whose fan of series is what. I mean, I know some Ben 10, Danny Phantom, Gremlins, or maybe just O.R.Ash, or maybe Kuro also like Gremlins. I'm not exactly sure, but I just know that O.R.Ash bloody like Gremlins. But I'm not sure how they treat Dungeons and Dragons. I see maybe it will be hard for them to play it, because first of all, actually, how hard? It's a game developed by your imagination. You just come up with your own rule and play it like you want. It's one type of this game. You can play by the book, you can come up with your own rules. And also think about how fun it would be if they actually decide to go with Ben 10 races. Because again, Ben 10 is still one of my favorite series, come with alien designs. Like aliens, look like bloody aliens, not just some humans like or human shape. I don't know if Ben 10 aliens have a human shape. I mean, bipedal creatures still seem to be a dominant way to evolution. Well, how dominant? More appearing. Like, you want to be straight if you want to be able to see your surrounding and use your environment. Okay, so bloody hell, not much to say actually, I'm blank. Okay, so I originally was thinking about making them play, but again I would say first, but it's hard to get the team. It's hard to know the rules, and plus I have no idea how to treat it, so maybe it will not be possible. So I decided to just do my version of how they will look as Ben 10 races, but as Dungeon Dragon classes. And man, this intro is so long and awkward. Maybe it's about time for me to write the script. And also add some montaging. Well yeah, for montaging I'll add the different color background, because I'm constantly getting sick of this just pure blackness behind me. Okay, maybe we'll keep it for reaction, because for reaction it's look pretty okay, shall I say. But for my moments and I bloody talk between the drawing process and then finale, the ending, it look pretty weirdish. I mean, for ending I just put my Patreon supporters background. I guess I will still use it again there, because why the hell change what is already not so bad. But okay, bloody hell, I realized that it's another time super awkward conversation, because I think everything I want to say, I bloody said it, and it's ready to get to the drawing process. And like, comment on the drawing and just get over it. Yeah, enough with this long intro, so for the wrong purpose we go right now. Okay, it wouldn't be my video if I didn't have any technical difficulties. So I have some technical difficulty, but the fact that Kuro video was glitching. Okay, I was trying to put it on my montage. Well, the thing I use for montage, OBS Studio. I couldn't bloody do this. And I just realized this video is going, but now it's get to some point. Like, imagine YouTube used to have these yellow dots on the lines. And when you get to those dots, it will turn off the ads. I have the same thing, but my will bloody stop working the video. It's like the moments when I was fixing the neck, removing some extra lines, doing the leg, and then coloring the leg. It will be some mistake, which some problem with making this video go. So I will cut these moments. And again, well, man, I suddenly start having lots of those mistakes. Well, errors, technical difficulties. Okay, not often, but man. In my previous one, my video missing a couple of during purchases because I have these technical difficulties. And then there was my gameplay and reaction channel problem where my face didn't record. Well, it wasn't technical difficulties. It just was my own stupidity. Although, man, I wouldn't say it's like something that happens often, but it does happen sometimes. Now, so for Kuro, I decided to make him Hit Blast PC, Pyronites, because I think Hit Blast is his favorite alien, unless he seems to enjoy it very much. And for class, I decided to turn him into Wizard, Sorcerer, because again, in my idea, I have see Pyronites as something like a sorcerer, like he shoot fire, and it's already magical aspect. And also, man, I decided, man, I don't want him just shoot fire, I don't want him just use his racial abilities. So I decided to get some magical into this. So like missiles of ice, lightning, and basically magical. So I decided to do this and turn him into wizard. But again, I was thinking about making him something like elemental wizard. Not just some wizard, but elemental wizard. And then I remember about Dungeons & Dragons subclasses. And I started checking them. So they will be what they are and their subclass. So for Kuro, there was something like wild, magic, and it seems super nice to me. Because again, I don't remember other options, but wild, magic, it's interesting. It's, well, yeah, something interesting. So for design, again, I found some reference image, first of all, the Kuro himself, and some Pyronites from Pyronites Gallery. And that would be, just draw the face, draw the basic. I think the only thing that make him different from any Pyronites, the fact I did him something like a hood. Well, no, his head will be in the crater, like flaming crater, but I decided not to make it a flaming crater, I decided just flame on his head, like any other Pyrronite. And mostly again textures of the rocks. Well, for textures of the rock with body, I slowly start drawing the rocks and then making those holes where the magma would go. For legs, I just draw the magma and draw the rocks on top. For hands, I guess the same way. Well, okay, for this hand, well, from your perspective, from his perspective, it would be his right hand. I did it in effect of the same way I did the body. For this right, oh man, I'm getting confused in my arms. Left arm. Of his perspective, it will be in the way what I did with legs. And also decide for that stuff. Okay, mostly because I don't want him to be just Pyrronite. Some Pyrronite, decide to add some magical aesthetic to it. For example, the gem on his middle of the body, the staff. I also was thinking about giving him the cape or the gloves, but like made from metallic something. But then say no to this idea, just drawing the stuff. The stuff will look exactly like his magma and rocks. Let's say at the tip where I put the magic stone, I maybe did a little bit fairer there. I mean, because it doesn't look natural to me to be fair. But I can work with this. Like I was thinking about, it will be separated inside of rocks and magma and that stuff, but I make it look like, yeah, like it inside of magma. I was going a little bit deep in my head. Now for color of the flames, I start to go with sanish, greenish, something I don't know how to name it. I didn't think about going blue, but again it will be something like cold Pyrronite. And I didn't want to go with cold Pyrronite. I want something original, something magical. So I decided to go with the color which is still bluish but seems magical enough to me. Now for stuff, the bottom of it will be sharp. Well, again, the text will be just simple Pyrronite. For colors, I guess I was going to pick the similar color to normal Pyrronite. Also for shading, did lots of those blackness and brightness. Well, brightness for magma, blackness for rock. Now for head shape, I decided to go with Kuro the artist head shape. I mean, I know in his OC he does have a mouth, I just give him a mouth. Also I tried to give the similar effect with the flames as they would look like his hair. Bloody hell, my freaking speech! Okay, maybe So then should also not be the day then I record this video. Because my speech today, well, I guess my speech always not the best at the moment. And also you would say, man, write the script. But I don't like following the scripts, I'm more like speaking of the moment. Like I want to say something right now, I would gladly say it right now. And man, if I follow the script, I basically will mess it up a little bit. Because again, I have my own desire what to say, and moments when I want to say it. And plus I know, predicting what will happen during the script is impossible. Well, it's possible, but I have to watch the video multiple times. Although some people do it a bit more often. Like, to write the script, I have to watch the video first time. Well, okay, the first time I can also cut it. Then considering the minutes and seconds when I have to say it. But again, I guess if I follow the script, my speech could be unnatural. And mostly, yeah, still prefer a little more free speaking. So, yeah. Okay, for the facts, well, just general, the drawing and that stuff. The background, I guess, used like different color for every characters. And again, most trying to keep them unique and interesting. I will not say they mean something, I will just say it, just simple colored background. Now you can see there's no information or facts and that stuff. Almost because it's a character like a real life person, so it's a person. For him, giving him a fact is like guessing what the character, what this person will do. But I'm not trying to do this. I mean, okay, I say I'm trying to do this. I like, before breakdowns I would try to say what Kuro would say about the mob. It's like, what comments he could make. And I just found out he would not make this comment at all. In fact, the moment I was thinking he would pay attention to, he just ignored. The moments I thought he would not pay attention, he's paying lots of attention. So like, again, trying to guess the fact he will be not I want to do. I mean, I can probably like the fact about what he can do, like those racial stats, those magical stats. But I guess, I don't know, it's Pyronites, immune to fire. Yeah, but I would say actually immune to every element, because ice, freaking hot, fire, I control it. Okay, maybe lightning, although it's plasma and fire is plasma, although, man, it's a kind of actually interesting thing, how the fire would react with lightning. I mean, lightning can start a fire. But it's actually pretty interesting thing to think. But again, for stuff, let's not get into deep to that. So for that stuff, again, I did interesting effect with the head, and which I bloody freaking like, where the head goes straight at you. Okay, my favorite effect for the arm is the bending effect, and then the arm is on top. But this time, I did so freaking goodly. Like, look, you can see this part of the arm, you can see the shoulder a little bit. I freaking like this. I mean, okay, it's effect I want to constantly use, but I would say sometimes forget about this effect. Like, you know, then there's something you want to do, and something you learn, and something you did before, but then suddenly just bloody forget that you did it. And you have to freaking find a reference image, which is again pretty painful. Oh, understandable. Also, I did this effect for the arm, also which effect I like, which is again arm, and then whatever behind this arm. Like, the arm is drawn separately from what behind the arm. That's the best way I can describe it. Usually I know separation line, what I call do with heads. Like the heads, okay, then I start drawing the heads for the first time. I would draw the head separately, and lines from the head go into body. Now I'm drawing the lines, the neck without separation lines. Like, let's say, line, cut it, and just I would color the head and the color the neck at the same time. Like, that's actually such a worst way to describe it, but again, it's how I will describe it. Now I just did the hand in the way which I will do my heads in the old way. Now for other stuff, for colors I guess nothing special. And well, I guess for the body, again I said I make his body look like a crater. Because originally in my head I'm thinking, should I make him like an old Pyrronite, like Pyrronite with those holes in the shoulders? But then, not being fan of the idea, I just decided to give him something like a crater on the body. Also thinking about giving him something like spiky, but I decided to go with circle one. Also there was the idea of giving the magma inside, but again, how the hell fire would work? Although, yeah, how the hell fire would work? Although it's animation cartoons. No, what cartoon? Man, why I say cartoons? It's drawing and it can follow any rules of physics I want. Again, I'm the creator, I can decide what rules of physics should be exist in this drawing. But yeah. Also, I think it's what I want to say before, that I designed his head after the original Kuro, but giving him the mouse. And again, the Pyrronite Tear's head. And for flames, I decided to do it in the Kuro hairstyle. I guess more limited, because again, Kuro hair is go like so much further, it's super long and super longish. But again, I still wanted to look like a natural fire. So I guess there will be moments of imperfection and then fire in the circle. Although maybe I could add some little flames spreading out from the main flames. Maybe it's a thing I can do. But for that stuff, not much I can say, so for next one we shall go right bloody now. Okay, so the Ash is my favorite in this batch. Guess for his race, I start to go with Squatch race. Squatch. I don't remember the name of the race, but it's probably do something with a monkey or electricity. Or the guy who invented electricity. Or the guy who come up with the idea of electricity. I don't know. So for him, the reason I decided to do him in this species. It's pretty simple because he drew himself as the species by himself. In the dumb doodles where they were drawing alien civilian. But there Kuro also drew himself. Oh man, actually, why my speech today is so broken? Okay, my speech is always not the best quality. Sometimes I have those moments that I just mumble or not in the control of my tongue. Like my tongue is super soft and wobbly. Okay, so in this dumb doodle, Kuro drew himself as Chromosome species, but I decided not to draw him as Chromosome species because I never dreamed about doing him as Chromosome species. And in fact, the Chromosome species is something cool and something epic. Okay, so for every character, I first of all drew them pretty similar to the OC, or how they represent themselves on the ink tank. So basically, Ash will have his special feature, his sideburns. Actually, I don't think it's sideburns, it go from the head and go down. It's something like locks of hair. But again, I still draw him pretty furry, but again, leaving those visible locks of hair. Give him very cool glasses, which I guess he happened these Halloween promotion materials. And also for the body, okay, I actually think he looks pretty similar to his normal outfit. Like, he's one of those guys who I give his normal outfit. The only minus the jacket. Well, not the jacket, what he wear behind the jacket. And, yeah, basically only that. I also give him the cap. And also, doing him... Okay, first of all, I would say that I bloody like how Omniverse do the body, like muscles. Like, it will be this circular, half-circular biceps going inside the arm, and from this arm, there will go lines. Like, bloody hell, I like making those lines which just go on top of each other. Like, to give such cool effect. Now for the design of the species, well, for this Kuro Squatch species, okay, first of all, I know he drew himself as Squatch species, but I can literally ditch what he make and come up with something original. Because goddamn, I'm not gonna just draw what he make back there. I will come up with something original. Make him a little bit more bigger, not fatter. Okay, a little bit chubby. Okay, I will say he's still a little chubby because in my mind I have him a little bit chubby. But I could say maybe in this one, it's not so visible. Again, in this version he was like chubby bigger. But now I make him a little bit more taller and his hands and, well, actually, they're big but they're still pretty slender. Now for positioning, first of all, I want to do something where, how can I describe it in the best way? I think I can describe it as him standing in the pee-pee dance. Like the legs, okay, I want like full-time pee-pee legs, I just want, okay, so there's like the thighs, which is again super close to each other, while the feet and what other than thighs, like maybe those, okay, this part of the leg does not cross each other, this part of the leg separates and then standing in position, while the feet look instead at each other, while the feet are a little bit bendy. I guess in my way that it's not so easy to tell that the feet are bendy, but again I was trying to do similar effect. Although maybe I should just give him a full-time pee-pee dance, but again maybe that will look not so nice. I just give him a lot of pockets, and once for his class I decided to turn him into Artificer. Well, yeah, the guy who builds stuff. The type of Artificer, Artificer, man, I will never be able to pronounce it. Decided to turn him into the guy who builds stuff. There was also a chemist, blacksmith, but I decided to turn him into something to create robots, because first of all, he is responsible for creation of Horas, he also voiced the Horas, and plus I will also make Horas once more. And again I would say O.R.Ash is still the most favorite member of Ink Tank to me. Because man, okay, sorry, but yeah, I bloody like him. He's funny, he make interesting drawing, his imagination level are bloody incredible. Like bloody hell, the Ultimate series, man, such imaginable guy. I can understand his level of imagination, I wish I have the same level of imagination. Yeah, I just bloody could just stand here and to praise him. So yeah, well, that's why I kinda make him Artificer as well. Because again, it's also my favorite class in DnD. I mean, I never bloody played DnD. I I'm gonna play games too similar to DnD for the King and Battle of Westworld. Okay, I will not say I'm playing Battle of Westworld, but I'm starting it. And still, okay, actually, it's not still online. I actually just spoiled my future project for my gaming channel. Yeah, bloody just spoiled my project for the future gaming channel. Again, I'm bloody not a big fan of keeping secrets or having secret plans. I just like saying things straight. Now again, for the hands, I can't decide actually. Originally, there in the 5 years later, there's new Sasquatch design and the old Sasquatch design. Which again, with new one, again, maybe a bit more reddish face, and maybe I will not say like the old design was so much better, but again, maybe redesign that design. I mean, they like make completely new design. Like I like this hands which is super big and touching the ground. Again, I want to do something similar, but again, it will look not super unnatural to me. So I decided just do the same big arms in the position like if they're just hanging there. Actually, yeah, I just like the hanging position. Now for colors, again, the lightning will be yellow, the face will be grayish. The third I decided to go with something unique because again, I didn't want to go do gray. And again, decided to go with this purplish, lighter purplish. Again, he will not have any clothes underneath the jacket. You could see his a little bit belly and this belly slides. And again, the clothes, I guess it's going to skin color, more darkish color. And again, also decided to draw the tip because first of all, it's come from Omniverse Sasquatch. Like he have those multicolors on the neck and the fur separation. So I decided to do the same thing, and it will add some more details on my character creation. Decided to give lots of those pockets, and it's nice effect of pockets actually being inside of something. Also, I filled his pocket with stuff, but most to do it, I just draw a bunch of lines, a little bit something coming off from it. I'm still not sure what it will be, but just some random instruments. That's it. I also will draw Horas, and like I like the idea of him freaking charging himself up and then adding this charge into Horas, and that's like how Horas is functioning. He's like a puppet without batteries, which need to be internally charged. And again for Horas, again have a reference image for Horas. Again, and so it's like a nice replication again. Again, actually it's not supposed to be a nice replication. I was trying to do something like retro-ish, like something we built from scrap. Like those, like a tin can, oh yeah, the tin can stuff. Again, for mostly trying to be close to original, with antenna, the body shape and the head. But again, adding these screw bolts and that stuff. The neck and the body. Okay, the body is still going into original. The neck decided to turn into this super slenderish stuff, and which can be bent. Again, still be bent constantly. Like I would say, his hand will be in this position, while the body will be shaped the position of the head. And also it's going to hold in the body like there's a mechanism which forces the neck go inside, outside, be short, be longer, turning that stuff. He also did a bunch of tentacles, because I didn't want him to be flying, so just turned his tentacles into those legs. And plus, man, I bloody like drawing those tentacles which goes across each other, which go on top of each other, behind each other, which is again steady in a position of steadiness and that stuff. I bloody like making those. And also did him a little bit chest inside of his body. That's come from Bender from Futurama. Originally I decided to turn Horas into walking chest. Again, mostly I think it would be more logical to turn him into map bot or bot who analyze environment and then go tell Ash what happened there. But I think it's funny to turn him to just walking chest. And plus again, I will not say he a good chest. I mean, considering the fact how his body position, I bet whatever we put inside will just scramble inside and like be masked. Or maybe he just put on the shelves and that stuff. The colors, again, nothing close to original Horas, like just brand new colors. The eyes, I decided to turn them into little sparkles, like it's just lightning forming the eyes. And again, not much can say. I think everyone to say I said. Okay, I can say about the Ash. Okay, I didn't say I was going to turn him into Sasquatch species at the beginning. Okay, that's a lie. I was thinking about turning him Sasquatch species from the start. But also there was idea to turn him into Transylvia. That's Frankenstein race. Because again, I think he drew himself as this Frankenstein monster, and again it's also look pretty nice. And plus again, it still would have electricity, and it's gonna make sense to be Artificer. But again, I got myself solidized with Sasquatch species. Because I kinda do like Sasquatch species, to be fair. Not for Horas, because when I was seeking it, it will get super small and it will not be possible to see. So also that's why I separated them. So this is Ash, and again, most of what I want to say, I said again. Most of the changes, again, colors is a bit more different. And again, maybe this naked belly. Okay, for belly I also did no fur. Like on the belly, there's absolutely zero fur. I would say I'm okay with this one. Also, for Horas, because it was super impossible to see, I also did him a bit more separately. But again, we'll talk about Sasquatch Ash a little bit more. Okay, I would say he's... okay, from perspective... okay, we'll say from my perspective. His right arm is a bit more bigger than his left arm. Because for left arm I was thinking about... oh yeah, I drew it already in bad scaling, so that's a minus of mine. Also, man, for arm... okay, the effect... I did this effect of his arm being like this. Which again I would like, and something I was going for, but I was thinking a bit more lower to the ground. This nice effect, but again I use a reference image, which I saw somewhere, like with big fingers being hidden behind their hand, somewhere here. Yeah, like this. The big finger, the pointy fingers, and bunch of knuckles. Although, yeah, maybe could be done a little bit better. Also did also lightning on his neck, on his hand, and going to Horas, and Horas saying I'm alive. For Horas, not much can say. Did lots of those rust effect by using the square and the tool which go color on color, which I can't call it, but totally not a real name. And again, okay, I tried to do lots of colors, but again, not also overkill with colors. I kinda like the way I did the Horas, but again, let's say lots of bendy lines, but it's again one of my constant problems. So with O.R.Ash, like I said everything I want to say in the earlier drawing process. So now I can just go to the next one, because again, this video is pretty long on itself, and plus if we're gonna talk a lot, it will be even longer. So let's just go to the next one, shall we? We shall. Okay, so while O.R.Ash is my favorite one in this batch, I would say Hurshie is my weakest. Okay, I mostly because maybe I pick a boring class, or maybe boring race. Okay, how boring? It's an interesting race. So for Hurshie, I started to jump him into Fulmini, which again, it's how it's spelled in Benton Wiki. Maybe it's wrong, but it's right. I just usually call them Fulminites. But in Benton Wiki itself, Fulmini. Maybe it's wrong there. I don't know. I will say go with Fulmini because it's straight from the wiki. I mean, sometimes wiki can be lying, but I don't know. I will trust the wiki on this one. I maybe should trust myself. I don't know. So for him, I decided to jump into Fulmini. Which again, okay, I have decided to draw ink tank against Ben 10 races since the moment I play Ben 10 in Minecraft. And again, they were playing on O.R.Ash, Hurshie, and Kuro the artist, and I was thinking about drawing them again as those Ben 10 races. Like, but back then I was drawn to Hurshie lead. Well, yeah, I was planning to draw Hurshie as Shockrock, while Kuro will be Heat Blast, and for Ash, I bloody don't remember what I want to go. Either Jet Ray, either Accelerate. But yeah, so that's the reason why I turned him into Fulmini, because again they were playing Minecraft together. But for design, because okay, let's say Hurshie is a member I know about the least. Whatever from it, I know 100% about Ash, Kuro, and Goff. Oh man, I probably pronounced it so wrong. Goff, the freaking Freddy guy. And again, because most again, they the one that make contacts the most, and Hurshie. No, Goff and his voice actor, and he voiced the guys I know, like Freddy and Fiddlestick, and bloody hell, I bloody like Fiddlestick. Freaking awesome, man. But I will compliment you later. For now, okay, for design, again, we'll go with Fulmini. I really was going to draw the head, but then I didn't like the way it was going, so I decided to just draw a normal Hurshie head, and then add some Fulmini details. Mostly those horns and those rocks. For hands, okay, for clothes, okay, it's not even clothes, it's just part of his body. For Rocky part, I decided to turn into his body of clothes, with the fur on the chest, and his jacket being mimicking the rocks. His shorts, I decided to give him also the gloves, but again, I would say for every part of this, where's the knee or knuckles, I decided to turn them into rocks. Like, there'll be this part which is knuckle and the knee will be just a piece of rock surrounded by electricity. Plus, just to give him a position where he shall show his muscle or whatever electricity form he have there. Like he just doing this and it's full per electricity there. For colors, I guess I just go with simple Fulmini. Again, maybe a bit more darker rocks, and maybe a bit more bright electricity. And maybe whiteness and electricity also pretty weakish. But most for that stuff I would say, again, mostly because I didn't have any idea how to turn Fulmini into fighter, because fighter is a fighter. He's fight with the fist. Like he doesn't have any weapons, he doesn't have any perfect clothes. And then maybe could turn him to monk, but again, I have to make them look like they're OCs, like to be able to tell that's him, that's what he is. I mean, if I want to draw Fulmini monk, I can easily come up with a bloody original design. Maybe for my alien civilian, I will draw Fulmini monk with super original design. But here, I have to make it recognizable, and again, in the way of the class. So I guess it's just simple Fulmini with shovel muscle and a nice boot. Man, I give him rocky boots, which also look like sneakers. Because men are bloody like sneakers. But for men, I was thinking about giving him a sandals because in his OC he wears sandals. But then I didn't find a nice way to make them. Although maybe I can just make them look like gloves. Pretty workable, nice to be fair. And again, I would say also didn't do lots of grass effect. Maybe if I did more grass effect, I can be nicer. But also I did also nice effect with the shoes. Like the shoes, which is again the line which does not separate the part of the leg and another part of the leg. Which again, bloody super stupid description, but again, I have no idea what the professional term of this is right now. Okay, now I added some of those cracks, because again, rocks and bloody hell, I need some details, because this drawing is not super much on details. Yeah, this drawing, oh man, not because I didn't do much details, it's my least favorite. Because again, in my head, yeah, not as much special in my head. Although for man, I would say it's also pretty hard to tell that it's supposed to be Hurshie. Also for class, I decided to turn him to Battle Master. Also, I did forget to check the Kuro the artist. Again, well, you bloody see it, man. I don't pay attention to that stuff. I'm talking about the drawing. For ice color, I decided to go with this white, but that's some yellowish effect. Because I would say I am not a big fan of pure white. Mostly because, I don't know, it's look weird in my drawing process. It's hard to tell which part is colored or which part is not. Plus, it also looks like a blank paper, so I prefer to use a bit more darker whitish. But at this moment, just pure white will be also not so, will be just perfect. Because again, the background is colored and I usually don't pay attention to that fact in the drawing process. Okay, so for next one we should go right now, okay? Okay, so for frog, my idea was go Mole-Stache, Mole-Stache species, but how 5 years later called him Dorinian Mole. So I decided to go with this one, okay? I call it a Mole-Stache species, and then and the Dorinian Mole, because again it will be 5 years later reference. So for this one, again, it's more interesting, but again, okay, I should say, if I have to put them together, like from the best to the worst, Hurshie, oh sorry mate, just I don't know, I would say I give a little weak interpretation of you as a Fulmini fighter. Then it go Kuro, okay, maybe I would say I would, okay, I'm still not sure, like, because I would say maybe this one goes second from the weakest. Or maybe it's Kuro, because again, I would say with Kuro, it's too cool effect with arms, although this one also have cool effect with arms. But again, for that stuff also not. Okay, let's just first, yeah, I don't know, maybe I'll put them together. Again, O.R.Ash is the best, and then there's the Goff, for which one you have to wait a little bit. Now for this one, first of all, I just decided to give him lips, like lips in this cockiness position. Again, also want to do the tips, but the tip look pretty weird. For eyes, I will give them normal mustache eye, Mole-Stache species eyes. I also give him mustache, well, because first of all, in his OC he have this little whiskers, well, you can pseudo beard, I would say. Well, something like I have right now. But again, except for my lips, I also have a little bit on my face. I decided to give him full-time gentle mustache with the afro hair. But again, I want to ears be visible. I didn't was think about this afro Artificer, which again I would say kinda accomplished. But again, yeah, kinda accomplished, I would say still nice. And yeah, I also did the same hand effect for him as the O.R.Ash. Kuro, I meant, sorry. But again, with Kuro I also did the bomb effect which goes straight at you. For him, I guess mostly just the arms which is like this. And the sword and the shield. Now for shield, okay, when I start making shield I will talk about the shield. Now for armor, I bloody was searching for reference image for super long. Because when I search for reference image, I bloody search for drawing version. But decided to go, man, I cannot find a nice drawing of the armor. Maybe I should go with a real version of armor and try to be close to that. So that's what I did. And that's what another lesson I learned. That sometimes for reference images, you can use a real life object. Like from the Google photo, or not Google, yeah, from Google search. And I just, you don't have to be a drawing version. I mean, I think I was doing that, but again, there was a moment in my lab that I didn't help and I was searching for drawing version to find better. Yeah, for such better lines. But if you need something specific like the object from different perspective, searching for exactly the object itself would be much easier. Now for shield, okay, I really thought they have some interesting emblem, the ink tank. But again, most of the channel logo look like, yeah, like this, what I drew on the chest. So I come up with this shield, which look like Discord server. Because on Discord server they use this Discord server sign, like just the head of the Discord. What Discord is supposed to be, and it's look like a head, but it's the head of unique creatures. Oh yeah, so for the shield it's just Discord head, I will call Discord head. It will be a really short shield, and most I would say this will be the part of the hand, like they will just block and block again. And again, I'm still trying to keep him like the shortest member of the team. Well, again, in the team they pretty all the same. Well, not the same, I guess some bigger, some smaller. That's real life version. Like by your C-Stennis, the Kuro is like the smallest one, and plus he's like koala. So for colors, basically same mustache colors, but again for the mustache and the hair make him less yellowish, like in the original. And I guess skin more browner than orange, because I think in the original series more orange. For dots, give him a little bit on the cheeks and the ears, and that's it. Now for armor I did lots of those whites, which I don't usually do, because again I understand the fact I need to use a little bit more whites, because white look pretty nice for Paladin. Especially Paladin of Devotion. Because there will be some, okay, for some of the odds, man, I think I picked Devotion because Devotion, it sounds more interesting and like Devotion to the ink tank. And I actually need to come up with a name for this team. Well yeah, I guess the ink tank will just work normally. So yeah, Devotion of Vault. That's why I decided to go subclass of Paladin. Okay, so what I was going to say. I started using whites because whites look nice for the Paladin. I guess decided to go with a bit more yellowish for goldness effect, because again it's also royal something royalty and greatness. And mostly for need to inspiration, I did the crotch area with something grayish. I see it's something like, is it worth? Yeah, I would just say chain armor. Maybe chain armor would sound much better. They would just wear chain armor on the crotch, because again for everything which I found there's armor with open areas, so I decided just to cover it up with chain armor. This and just plating and plating. So the plating part will be in different color than the other stuff. The gloves, the sword, pretty smallish, but that is. For underneath the armor and those plates, which is supposed to be shoulders and which help the arms to be bending, I did something like ink tank emblem. Like you can see the J. Wait, is it J? No, it's. Yeah, well, actually, man, what's ink tank logo supposed to be? Because it's not I, it's not T. Or maybe it's T. Okay, we'll go. No, it's I, but it's separated from each other. Yeah, it's I, which is separated from each other. No, it's not the I. Okay, I will go check it later, but again, I have not to get my head over with it. For next one we shall go right bloody now, actually moving pretty fast. Again, I was afraid this video will be super long. Okay, if I continue talking it will be super long. Keeping going. Okay, so for Kellen Goff, I'll just calling him Goff because it's more simple, and again, Kellen Goff can be a little bit tongue twisted for me. I decided to jump him into Polymorph, because again, his rank tank OC is just a bunch of slime in a jar. So I decided to go with this one. And basically, it's what he's supposed to be, but again, more mythical and more bardia. And yeah, I turned him into Bard, and Bard Collector overall. Okay, because he's... Okay, first of all, for subclasses, I didn't pick any things for specific reason. They were just subclasses, and I picked from one each one. Like Kuro the Artist, Wild Magic, because Pyronites, I want him to be Pyronites of special magic. Like, Pyronites already can shoot fire, but I want him to be magical in all 4 elements. And Wild Magic sounds pretty interesting to me. Fighter, Master of Master, a Fighter for Hurshie, because, I don't know, it seems respectful. Artificer, Craftsman, for robots, for Ash, and for Pro, Oath of Devotion, because again it's the best oath of there. Now for Hurshie, for Goff, I guess basically the same for his OC, but more bigger jaw, because again he's screaming and he's seeing. The glasses, I guess in his version it's glasses something like his eyes. I decided to do typical glasses, like trying to be retroish, retroish glasses, which go inside of his head, because again slime people. For hair I also did super long. And arms, Okay, in my head I have him positioning like super bloody spread out, like he's freaking jumping and dashing and everywhere. But again, I would say in this one it's still pretty limited. Mostly like he's jumping and his hands on the guitar. And man, in my head I was seeing, okay, no matter family, and they have the second channel, like not the English version, they have the second channel for this bunch of short videos. Well, not short videos, the video which is not official and that stuff. And there was this band which is, I forgot the name, but it's a band. And there's have songs, and there's the first song, the ever first song from this band, which is the Glam and Chop. And it's a first song, and this drawing, and where they just jumping and playing the guitar. I want to do something similar to this one. Now for her, I did them way long, like they're freaking again spreading out. Like I want him freaking being everywhere. For color of the slime, and it was really hard for me to pick. When to be fair, it's really hard for me to pick the correct color for Goff slime, because again it's interesting unique colors. And I think I decided to go, I think maybe to green, but again I will also some additional colors. Now for guitar, just find a reference image of the real guitar and just repeat it. But I would say the strings was the hardest part, because fitting those strings inside of the guitar was like the most painful part. Now for his clothes, I give him a little jacket. Well again, I originally was thinking about giving him a purple jacket, but again there's already a guy. Okay, not the guy who draw Goop. Okay, so there's a guy called Spyro, Spyro, and he make Ben 10 fan arts. Most Ben 10 is different race from different cartoons, as Ben 10 from different universe, most follow the Undertale universe, and there's this Mafia Tale where he draws from fire wearing this purple jacket. So no longer I cannot use a purple jacket. So the second idea would be a brown jacket, in reference of the Freddy Fazbear. Yes, his freaking Freddy Fazbear followed him everywhere. Okay, I guess I think he maybe enjoyed this role. I mean, I think when the voice actor given a role, I think they also will enjoy it. And maybe, I don't know, I don't know how I would react, I'm not a voice actor. Now, yeah, also, okay, that was also idea of making it yellow, but again, it's looked not so great in yellow, so I decided to go, because again, I'm not a fan of bright colors, I decided to go with darker color version here. And also did this Sorcerer gravity thing in the form of the head of the Freddy. Because again, Freddy Fazbear is freaking your fate until the end of the world. Now I would say, I'll say it's also one of my best ones, but again I still would say I like Ash a little bit more. Like I like those slimes flying everywhere. I like the way I did the leg, like one leg is solidized standing, so it's look like typical Goop leg. To be specific, Goop from the Omniverse, while other leg is just flying there. It also look like a big chunk of the leg just come off, because I don't know, he like swinging super fast. And for hands, well yeah, I guess I also did this effect of the wrist, and again the hand, which again, well, pretty similar, but again, I would not say, I like the Kuro arm I did more better than the Kelf arm like this. And for arm, okay, it's super slender, but again, he can have exponential because he can change the shape and the size of his hand. But again, for hands, I would say I was trying to do something realistic position of the hand on the guitar. I think maybe it's not exactly realistic because I think he just holding, maybe he's holding one string with all his fingers. While these fingers is just playing the guitar. I won't say I'm like an expert at guitars. I hold my guitar only one in life. I used to have, well, not my guitar, but guitar of my parent, my mom. It was in my room. I started to play it. Learn that you can stop the strings by putting your hands on it, and that's all I learned. Like, it would be nice to try, but again, it would be bloody hard. Now for other stuff, yeah, not much can say, so for the next one we shall go, and if you want the next one, I think that's all Ink Tank member there is. Well, yeah, but I have to make thumbnails for this video. Okay, so thumbnail was pretty lazy, because again, I was hitting my deadline. Okay, how much deadline? I'm trying to make videos like, let's say, you know how YouTube, when the video uploaded, it will say days, like 2 days ago, 3 days ago. It will go like this since, it will go like this until then 2 weeks. Then it stops saying days and starts saying weeks. Like I'm trying to avoid the time to make videos while it's still saying days. Like let's say it's my priority. But again, for thumbnail, because I already draw them and just remember, god damn, I need a thumbnail. And I didn't want to do a thumbnail which I do for challenges, which I just put the image and that stuff. Okay, like there's civilian, they just put two members of the species, like they're from the Ben 10 and my version. and also the challenge of main developers that was the best main developer I did. And for this one, decided to draw a full-time original thumbnail with all Ink Tank members playing Dungeons and Dragons, while two adults will be the Dungeon Master, and other one will be just sitting. I would say for them, I cut the legs, and for some characters cut a little bit more. For Fro, you can just see his head, because I didn't want to draw him fully. Mostly because I again was saving pretty much times. Mostly just pretty look close to this. I mean, you can tell it's not original, and again, mostly in half time then I draw something. You can easily tell, not freaking original. Because again, I'm not perfect at being copying style guy. Again, let's say, but it's such rude pick to say. Well, mostly because I'm also not a big fan of saying this, but man, if you want to work at the drawing processing, like for animation, you bloody need to learn how to draw characters in the same bloody way. Like characters who belong to other, you bloody need to learn how to make them and also animate them. Again, also, okay, the reason why it's not so perfect, man, okay, you can be not so perfect, but because again, some people can forgive that. Like, remember XLA, and how many freaking head shape he had? Yeah, that was pretty hard to copy. And again, yes, I like this. Now, I want to make characters in every possible detail, starting from the letters. But my writing and sizing and planning of sizing is not so great, so the letters is pretty bendy and not so easy to read. I mean, the last one is pretty impossible to tell. I think it's keep it fizzy. The fizzy is one which is pretty hard for me, for you to understand. Now for hands of the Alien X, I decided to use this tool with square function, because I didn't want to do something special. Now for other characters, man, again, for other characters, other characters. I would say O.R.Ash was problematic, because for Ash, god damn it, I don't know. For Ash I did such a lazy job to it. Well, cannot tell how much, what can I say? Like, I make this funnel in this one day. Like, okay, I'm not sure. Did I spend the whole day or just... No, not the whole day. Totally not the whole day. Well, I guess. Like, I make a bunch of characters in the same bunch, while usually I try to short myself on just making one character in one bunch. Which again, man, my problems are problem of real artists. Like, they dealing with way much more. And way more scarce graphics. Or schedule. So me freaking talking about this feel like freaking bready. So that's why I will not bring this up ever again. And for these characters, I have much can say. Mostly for Hurshie, I did him this very chill motion. Like he's chill. Also his hands being here. Let's say maybe his hand is not as big as the original one. Again, because I bloody not big fan of making super big arms. From maybe a different perspective for looking straight at, yeah. Which maybe that's why he is. But yeah, also the eyes I did a bit more different. You will see it and you see him. Oh man, mostly they were pretty nice. I would say maybe they was going further, it would get a little bit weaker. But to be fair, my speech today was getting weak where I was going. Actually no, my speech was getting better actually. With Kuro the artist I was bloody mumbling, have no idea what to say, and I'm panicking, I have no idea what to say. Now I'm freaking going, I just need a good start. Oh yeah, here I have a real problem with Hurshie. Like I was struggling to make his jacket, first of all his massive hairy arms with the jacket, and finally I like how it should be bloody look. But I think I figure out at some point. His sleeves, his short, and again the belly. Also I bloody like the way I did him. I draw him a full-time belly, and the blacking behind his... Okay, has a panda, he have whiteness on his belly, a little bit behind on the side. I did the side, and man, such amazing idea that I did it, because he's on side of the table where his belly is supposed to be seen. And you can see it. I mean, I totally didn't plan for this, but man, I'm glad I did this. Also, here was a bit more problem. Okay, not problem, is reference, like where the stuff's supposed to be. Like from perspective, like to be fair. I also have this problem where, well, not problem, where I think like characters have this robot arm on the right arm. It's all supposed to be on the right arm. I bloody think that I have to remember that there's a big chance I can draw the arms on a different position. Well, to be fair, man, I also say I have sometimes problem with fingers, because sometimes I trouble in where the big toe is supposed to be. Well, not the, well, yeah, the thumb is supposed to be, because when I draw hands, there was a moment, actually in this one, there was a moment when I was drawing Kuro, I put the, okay, from this perspective, the thumb is supposed to be on the body. I draw it here, then I have to bloody fix it, and I did fix it. But it's always hard for me to remember that the thumb is supposed to be Like, I use my own hands as reference and like trying to bloody memorize the stuff. Okay, maybe it's not like the most important part, but I don't know, I just want to bloody remember that stuff. And again, I would say there was moments that I actually did not remember, and there was moments. The Croaky. I made the comments about the Croaky, and there was a Odin as a frog, but he had the eye patch. And I bloody have to memorize what his eye patch is. And to be fair, I think I did the eye patch wrong. So he's come from, for him, I did the eyes. Again, I think in the reference image, I used his eyes in normal in. You just find Pro image on the 5 years later, and you will know what I'm talking about. It was my reference image. In this one, the eye position is a bit more different. I decided to just go full massive circles, and they will just look in on the game, and him holding a little bit table like he's so short that I don't know, put the book behind him. And mostly, I didn't want to go much in detail because again, I know that I will hide him behind the table, and I will not repeat the mistake I did with Lobo. Yeah, mistake I did with Lobo. Ah man, I start again referencing a lot of stuff. Like maybe, I don't know, let's see, maybe Lobo will put them, maybe just put the timeline of my whole drawing history. Also would be nice, yeah, would be nice promotion of my whole drawing career. Like I'm drawing the Goff, and again, I guess he's like the best one here. And again, I put so much work at Goff, and like he still look freaking awesome. Like let's say even Kuro the artist, well yeah, he look pretty, he look like himself, but it's minimalistic. With Goff, I did him bestly. Well yeah, because again, I like the guy, because he's funny, and again, his fiddlestick, his voice is still bloody killer me. Like because man, I also tried to mimic it once. And I still try, and I would say I'm kinda not great. No, it's not fiddlestick, it's something, I don't know, some creepy grandma. Yes. Oh man, he did a video about teaching that stuff. Like, you know what I said was not a voice actor. Well, I tried to voice games. And man, if I know how to do fiddlestick voice for some characters, well, not for some characters. I want to reference the game, but I don't want to reference my stuff a lot, because again, I feel like a guy who bloody, I want to hear about my stuff. I don't want to be this guy. Again, I'm talking about this one, and I kinda, yeah, I don't know. I try to do a creepy voice in one of my gameplay sessions. Just go freaking watch it if you want to. It's the game which is anime. Like Home Alone. I was playing Home Alone, and there was a moment I tried to do this creepy voice. But sadly, my Facebook cam was not recorded during the time. It was okay. Did I bring this up? Wait, was I talking about the glitch I have? Wait, I don't remember. So I had the glitch where in my Kuro the artist was not reading. I couldn't put it on my DaVinci Resolve, but I can still play the video. But then it get to some point, the video just crashed. I have to just record it with OBS and just record the game, put the video, and just relax while it's still recording. When it stops, then it's glitching, I have to close it. Just keep the moment where the problematic area is and record the other part. I have 3 problematic areas, but yeah, I don't really talk about them, so there's no reason to talk about them right now. But again, okay, the glitch with no face cam is totally my mistake. I forget about the function of my phone. I just saw a pretty function on my phone, but then forget what function was, and bloody hell regrets. For O.R.Ash, again, I would say he's like the weakest one. Maybe because I did his position in such a way I never saw. Like, again, for O.R.Ash, I bloody saw him in his just steady position, like position from the 5 years later, what I used for reference image. So giving it a bit more different design is problematic, maybe. I did his eyes like squint a little bit, the lips again kissing in this thinking pose with the arm, because I remember he had like super big toes. Well, not bloody thumb, toes on the legs, palms on the arm. Well, not just thumb, the fingers itself. So I tried to do the squarish, super big fingers. It was for close, again trying to be super detailed. But again, saying a little bit laziness on the shading, I would say. And him like picking and doing that stuff. But again, for neck, I did it super bigly, I would say. Like it's going super straight, like Candy's level of neck. Candy from Opinion of the Fair, if you didn't get it. Bloody hell, I need to know water. It's already for a cup of water, I think. Talk a lot is a real pain. Okay, so now comes the laziness of the laziness. The table. So I decided just to put 2 figurines in the minimalistic form. One of them supposed to be something like a hat, one of them supposed to be a dragon, but again a stick form dragon. For background, again using the colors, I would say my background is pretty cheap, but again, it's a background I still constantly use. Now, for that stuff, okay, actually this video is getting pretty long, so not much can say. I did lots of shading. Yeah, I did lots of shading, but again, it's shading which the characters already have, so just me trying to be close to that. Bloody hell, trying to be close to that. Again, let's say my thumbnail is pretty lazy, but not so bad. Yeah, not so bad. Also, during some of the moment of camera, I removed some lines on the Ash hands to make it more, yeah, I don't know, I've seen it a bit more better. Now talking about this one, it was an interesting project. I hope you can like it, and if I will also credit them there. Like, you can go on the credits and there will be the channel, the Ink Tank. I will not put Rust Bucket you can go by just watch the channels on the Ink Tank. But go watch it. Now, it was nice speaking process, and maybe the Ink Tank will never play Dungeons and Dragons. Like, the more I think about it, there's more chance they will actually not play it. And I just already listed. I don't remember I listed the reason why the chance of it is super rare and super not. Oh yeah, super rare. Again, most saying this video is super long, and for ending, bloody hell. I have a Patreon where you can watch my drawings earlier and my other stuff channel earlier, like reaction earlier, but without the video, only with timer, and the early access to my gameplay sessions. And on this note, bloody hell, roll the end screen, and goodbye.